tackle for another run.
All right, welcome into the Hooked Up Podcast. Kevin, you got your background up. I'm not at a green screen tonight, so I can't have mine up. But we're on our fourth episode and got a chance to go to a tournament this past weekend. I was
Yes.
supposed to go to two. I was supposed to go to two. I had some car trouble on Friday when I was supposed to go down to the Edisto Invitational. What we do have the results. We'll talk about on the second segment here today. But we got to go to Band the Billfish. So the first segment is going to be talking about the experience up there. Because first time you've been on the docks, right? Like that?
Yep. First time.
So I got some questions for you. I want to get some feedback from
the
the first timer.
Okay.
Second segment today will be on the two tournaments. Actually, two tournaments, and then we're also going to talk about the Triple Crown winner of the Big Rock, which is something that's been going on 2 years. And then our last segment again, we're going to talk a little more about the Gulf Stream that we started last week.
Okay.
But as we go to our first sponsor here, I want you to be thinking about your experience on Saturday. But if you had to give me one word to sum up the day, what would it be as we go to break?
Enlightening for me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think I learned a lot.
All right, cool. Well, we ended up a good time. Give us a minute to hear from one of our sponsors, and we'll be back.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
You're listening to the Hooked Up Podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a message at hookeduppodcast@gmail.com.
Sun's coming up on a crystal sea, loading up the tackle for another run to the stream. We don't chase clocks, we chase the tide out past the drop off where the big ones lie. Past the sea, boy, throttles pushing wide, chasing that Gulf Stream on an early morning tide, watching for flies in a weed line break, wondering what kind of day the ocean's gonna make. Feel that pull, feel that fight, out where the ocean turns that heavenly blue. Ain't no stress, ain't no noise, just diesel dreams and grown man joys. We're hooked up off the Carolina coast, where the blue water rolls and the billfish roll from Morgan Inlet down to Charleston Blue. Every sunrise brings a chance at something new. We're hooked up, hear those screaming drag songs, spring flying from the outriggers and flags, living that dream where the blue water runs, tight lines off the Carolina coast, boys, we're getting it done.
All right, we spent the day on the dock up in Morehead City at the Band the Billfish Tournament. Your first one up there. I've been up there many times. First time I've been up there for the Band the Billfish Day. It's really nice. Unfortunately, it was only 13, I think, out of 68 boats fishing that day. It was really windy, really choppy offshore. So it was a 3-day tournament. Most of the boats fished the first 2 days, but we did get to meet some people. They had some more time to talk to us than they probably would have on Thursday or Friday. But you said enlightening when we went to break. So after watching the video again, bringing back some memories from a few days ago, what do you mean by enlightenment? What was the highlights for you?
Well, it's just different when you see it in person. You know, you watch the Big Rock on the YouTube TV and all that, and you're like, man, them boats are they're nice, right? Then you see them boats in person, you're like, oh my God. I mean, teak wood's just shining and the boats are shining and the outriggers are, oh my gracious, 30 foot in the air, and it's just, you hear the engines, and smell the diesel fuel, and it's just
it's addictive, man.
This is different, man.
I think it also enlightening because we had a chance to talk to a few people, but also as we walked down the dock, you noticed something about the captains and the first mates.
Yeah, the first mate's doing everything.
I told you, no, they're not. The captain has a lot of behind the scenes work, but it's kind of like we are, in a regular business job. You got some people having to do all the legal work and all, because the captain has a lot of information he's got to keep up with. He's got to keep up with maintenance. He's got to keep up with all that kind of stuff. But the
Yeah.
grunt work many times does fall to those mates.
Yeah.
When my brother was thinking about buying a boat in the 70s, he wanted to buy a boat and become a charter captain.
Yeah.
And he talked to my dad. Of course, you know, when you're in your 20s, you don't want to listen to what your dad tells you. But he actually went, my dad had him go talk to another captain. And the captain told him, he said, you know, I enjoy it, but here's what you're getting into. And back then, I'm sure it's not quite as bad now, maybe not near as bad now, but back then, he said, you know, you're going to be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, being at the dock by 5, getting the stuff ready to go out. We head out. We're out all day, come in 3 or 4 o'clock. You're going to spend the next 2 or 3 hours cleaning the boat up. And then you're going to get the bait ready for the next day till about 10 o'clock at night. And you're going to get up and repeat. So
well, I know we saw the one boat come in, and 2 hours later, they were still washing down the deck, washing down the fighting chair. And I'm like, they're still cleaning yet, you know, like getting ready.
Because you got to keep those things in great shape. And obviously, especially if you're in a charter, you want your customers to come on, your clients, and be in a good spot. So there's a lot of work to it.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, I didn't realize that. That just looks like fun. Take your boat out, catch some fish, go home. But there's a lot more to it.
See, you have to be the charter person to be able to do that. If you're going to have your boat, you got.
Yeah, I'd have to just be the owner. Hire a captain, hire a first mate. Y'all be safe out there.
I'm sure, and we're trying to get a time set up where the owner of a boat actually showed up in the video. I won't call the name yet until he comes on, but but it may not be as much as you think either. Maybe some more enlightenment coming from that interview.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
And that's what we're looking for.
It was a good time. I'd never seen a wahoo in person, so that was.
If you're all watching, it's a side note. We are looking for captains in all regions of South Carolina to come on, and owners, and even we'd love to talk to some mates too.
So, and North Carolina.
North and South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So send us a message, hookeduppodcast@gmail.com, and we'll get a scheduled time that we can jump on a Zoom call, and love to hear your feedback. I was telling some people on the dock that we want to hear stories about your area, because I really see how each area has its own kind of flavor, its own kind of history. And so we would love to get the different views from up and down the coast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was fun. We heard some good stories, didn't we, up there already?
We did. What stands out to you?
Oh man. I can't say right now, but it was too much, and it was a long day, Wes. But it was big.
We really appreciate Nina Miller actually for allowing us to come up and hang out. She was really busy that day. We didn't get a lot of chance to talk to her, but she was my contact to go up. She did introduce us to Neil, who we stood under the tent and talked to a long time, and then actually met Nina's husband, who was just helping out with the tournament. Not a big sports fisherman, but he had a good time talking to him. So much when I did meet Nina and I told her I met her husband, she was like, "My husband's not here." And I was like, "Yeah, he is. He's down there." And I called his name, and she looked at me and says, "Oh, I didn't know he was here." She was so busy.
Yeah.
It was fun. And we met, I think it was Richard from the
Big Rock board. Yeah.
Yeah, from the Big Rock board, and asked him to come on, and he's going to think about it.
Yeah.
I did a little stalking on him. He fished his first tournament back in the 70s for the Big Rock. Oh, wow. So I'd love to hear his stories. He's got a bunch of stories. Yeah. And I actually picked up their book while I was up there for the history of the Big Rock. So we'll probably be sharing some of that as we go. But obviously the Big Rock is the biggest tournament in the Carolinas. However, I don't want to only spotlight them. I want to get those same stories from these other tournaments in other spots, but obviously they're not going to have the media that the Big Rock has, just because it's so big.
Yeah, that was interesting to me, because you watch the Big Rock and there's just so many people there, and then you go to this tournament and there wasn't 20 people standing around.
Yeah, and I did talk to
different, you know.
I don't know if it was somebody from the tournament or from the weigh station, which I'll mention in a second, but they did tell me on Thursday and Friday, especially Friday, they did have that old area full.
Oh,
so
really?
There was a lot of people down there coming for the weigh-ins, because it was 30. The first day I think it was 60, almost all 68 fished the first day, I guess minus 13, and then the second day like 64 were out of 68. Gotcha. So
Okay.
So they did have a lot more turnout, but again, because we went up on a Saturday, because we have to work our real jobs first.
Yeah. Poor thing.
So we only had 13. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is a lot different. Now, when I went to the Cape Fear Bowling Tournament the first year, the first day weigh-in was kind of like what you saw, and
Yeah.
they do it at Wrightsville Beach Marina, and there's not the gathering area that you saw at the Big Rock Landing.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it was neat to be there though, and just see the landing, and that was real neat. See Randy
Um,
and George and all that.
well,
That
yeah, the way station. I'm gonna
yeah.
try to see them again at the next tournament. I'm gonna try to make the one up at Pirates Cove in
Yeah.
August.
Yeah.
But I actually met them back in 2017. They don't remember me, obviously. They meet thousands of people, but
Oh
they
yeah.
are the official weigh-in people for the Billfish tournament in North Carolina. So they're at each tournament taking measurements, making taking the weight. Unfortunately, giving the DQs to the ones that didn't live up to what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So, but they've been doing it a long time, and we actually asked them also to think about coming on. We gave them a card, and they're going to think about it, and we'll contact them over the next few
Yeah.
months as things slow down.
Yeah, and
And
actually, if you're a tournament director or promoter, we love to have you on as
yeah,
well. Talk about your tournaments. We found out there's tournaments up and down the coast that we don't even know about.
yeah. There's
So,
one. There's one going to be in May next year out of the Morehead City again. It's I think it's Chris Perry. Is that his name? Yeah, I'll get the exact name. Christopher Perry Memorial that Nina's also involved with. So I want to get with her in the fall and get her to promote that with us
yeah,
and see what else we can do to help help the community.
yeah, exactly. That's right.
So it was neat to
Those
be
are the
with
kind
you
of things we're looking for.
for your first time up there.
What?
I said it's neat being with you for your first time seeing the big boats and
Oh yeah.
the,
It was fun watching them try to park them boats in that wind.
they did a really
That
good job.
was amazing.
The sensation was coming in with they only have one, they call it one screw, one motor. They do have bow thrusters though, but he did a good job, young captain. He put it right in there, and then as we
Yeah.
were leaving, I think it was the bill collector was pulling in the
It was
yellow
a
boat.
yellow boat.
Yep. Oh, Sally
Oh,
wanted to
there's
be
the
in
cat
again,
making her appearance.
making an appearance again. um, but I noticed that he threw it right naked. That wind was whipping. The wind was going towards the port, and the tide was going out. That
Yeah.
is just terrible trying to put in there. And we saw several captains had to reset, and it wasn't because they're inexperienced. It's just that
Yeah.
it takes a lot to put those boats in somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Well, the captain of the Beagle tried to come in to weigh his fish. He tried to back into the weigh station. Gave it one shot, and
he
he said,
was
"Nah, give me a
he
chase
was
boat."
doing
He said,
and
"We're not doing this."
with in
So
neutral. I think he had to be doing 7, 8 knots back down
that's what you
the
said.
water.
Yeah. I mean,
I
they
mean,
just
it
were
was just
blowing down.
running. It was running hard. And
Oh,
I tell people because I have me and docking have a love hate relationship. Sometimes I can put my boat right in, and sometimes I have to reset many times. But
yeah.
I tell people you never dock at the same dock twice
Yeah.
because every time you come into the dock, there's different winds, there's different tides, times, there's
Yeah.
different just humidity. I mean, everything is different. You never
Yeah.
have the same conditions. So those captains with those big old boats, they have to really
Yeah.
really be precise, and you get out of whack just a little bit, and that
Oh,
sound does not
we saw.
give you any redos.
And I
So
saw with the big well, they're probably not called pillars. What are those big wooden things, on the sides that they
oh, the
back into?
pylons,
The pylons, yeah.
pylons,
I mean, I saw one of the boats lean against that, and man, the pylon was going like that. I'm
yeah.
thinking, oh my
And
gracious.
those things are not just sitting in there; they're way deep down into the
Oh
mud.
my gracious. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah,
It was
and that's
crazy.
why a lot of boats didn't fish on Saturdays because of those conditions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, all right,
Yeah,
well,
but we
let's take a
saw a
break.
couple small boats come in too, just not in the tournament, but a couple
Yeah,
smaller
yeah,
ones
a
come
lot of
in
people were
from
still out
fishing
there.
and stuff. So,
If I'd had my boat up there, I'd been out doing something. I mean, it's
oh, come on. In
you
that
saw
wind?
that. Oh yeah,
Oh,
and that
gracious.
water. I mean, you saw the water. The water is so.
Oh, the water. Oh my gracious.
So, well, let's take a break here while you contemplate that and hear from our sponsor, and we'll come back and talk about the tournament, the two tournaments in the Triple Crown, and what the end results were.
Need help getting that budget together? Reach out to us at Clark Financial Coaching. We can help you with budgets, forecasting the future expenses, just overall tidying up of your financial picture. We're not advisors. We start at the beginning and help you get to the point where you need those advisors. Reach out to me at coachwestc@gmail.com. That's coachwestc@gmail.com.
Welcome. You are listening to the Hooked Up Podcast, tight lines off the Carolina coast. Feel free to reach out to us at hookeduppodcast@gmail.com. We would also love a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Fish on.
All right, welcome back into the Hooked Up Podcast with Kevin and Wes. And it's time to look at some tournaments. We were up at the Band the Billfish Tournament this past weekend, but we had also the Edisto Invitational happen, the one I was unable to make on Friday. We'll talk through those results, and then finally we'll talk about the Big Rock Triple Crown, which is the winner of points totals on all three tournaments held by the Big Rock, including the ladies tournament that's fished the few days before the Big Rock starts, the Big Rock, and then the Kids Rock. Let's start back up where we were at. Official results for 2026, and they actually had a total purse in the one we were at Saturday of $444,000.
Yeah.
So day one, they had 59 out of 68 boats fishing. They released 15 blue marlins that day, 2 whites and 35 sails.
Wow.
Day two, 64 out of 68. They had 17 blue marlins, 8 white marlins, and 60 sailfish released.
Oh my gracious.
And day three, with only 13, they still had 5 blue marlins released, 2 whites, and 14 sailfish. So the totals for the week were 37 blue marlins released, 12 white marlins released, and 111 sailfish released. Really big sailfish.
Not for a week. That was for 3 days.
That was just 3 days. Well, when I say the week for the tournament, but yeah, 3 days, just 3 days.
Oh my goodness.
So they did not have one weighed. And we were explained to by Neil. His name was Neil, wasn't it? That's right.
I think so. Yeah.
That because of the way the tournament's set up, because they used to tag the fish during the tournament. This is the Ducks Unlimited tournament. We haven't mentioned that. It's Ducks Unlimited Billfish Tournament put on out of Morehead City. They've been doing it since we looked at it last time, 1989, I think it was, somewhere back in the late 80s.
Like that, yeah.
If you go back to one of our former podcasts, we actually went down to break down the history of it. But so you don't see a lot of marlins come in because they actually get more points for releasing them, and you get more from that. But there is a level 2 in the tournament for the largest blue marlin, and nobody bought it in. Level 3, double B one, they had 20,050 points for the week, and that was 4 blue marlins and 3 sailfish they released. And they cashed out in just that level of $59,655.
Not bad.
Free Ranger was second with 1,900. 1 blue, 3 whites, and 7 sail for $35,793. And then the Sunday Fun Day came in third, 1,650. 3 blue marlins, 3 sails for $23,862. All 3 of those were also in level 4. Same point total, same release, and Double B picked up another 48.5 with that one. Free Ranger 29,100, and Sunday Fun Day 19,400 for that level. So, when I first started following it, I had to get all this stuff straight. There's you can get into the tournament for a certain price, but then there's levels that you buy into, and as you buy into those levels, you get a chance at winning more money from that certain level. So. Free Ranger could have entered level 3 and not entered level 4. So you could actually see different names in those 2 levels if somebody didn't do it. A good example of that was a few years ago at the Rock. They have a level that's called the Fabulous Fisherman. And it pays out for the first marlin that comes in over 500 pounds.
500, yep.
And a fish came in the first or second day a couple of years ago, way over 500 pounds, but they were not entered into that section, so didn't get that money. So you have to enter those levels. Then you have to level 5 is daily release. Day 1 was Double B. Day 2 was Baby J and Free Ranger. Day 3, I love saying this name, the Puerto Rican. 1150. I believe they won the Big Rock one year. Each of these paid out $8,890. Puerto Rican and white caps actually had they were on day 3 were the first tied. And so they each got, like I said, 89. 9. Double B was the first one by himself on day 1. He walked away with 17,781 just for that first release.
Oh my gracious.
So
Wow.
Double B did really well this week.
Well,
I'm
I'll
not sure.
say.
I'm not sure if they have the full totals down here. I don't think they do.
Wow.
Total release with Sonar. Double B was in that category.
Okay.
So they won another 42,680 in that category.
Oh my gracious. Wow.
And then there was a non-Sonar, and Real Country won that one. That's the one we saw in the video backing in. The first boat we had backing in.
Yeah.
1,200 points. They released 3 Blue Marlins.
With no sonar.
With no sonar, $14,550. Level 7, again, you have to get into these. Game fish total wound up at 52.8 pounds, winning $29,100, and that was 1 wahoo by itself. Welder's Ark had 1 dolphin and 1 wahoo weigh in for a total aggregate weight of 44.4 pounds. They walked around with $17,460. And the Beagle, which we saw backing in that one
tried
day,
to back in
40 pounds with 1 dolphin and 1 wahoo aggregate for $11,640.
I'll be darned.
And then level 8 was the largest dolphin for the week.
Okay.
And that was won by El Patron at El Patron, 23.7 pounds for $59,170 for just that 1 dolphin. Mahi. The top
We're
lady
fishing this next year, right, Wes?
I'd love to get us some people on the boat. We'll go.
Because what do you think my dolphin was I caught on last summer?
3 pounds, 4 pounds.
Oh, come on. It was bigger than that. Stop it, Wes. Had to be 7 or 8 pounds.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'll give you 7. This is Fisherman's Tale, so we'll get 7. The lady angler for the week was Natalia Frost on the Baby J. She actually, she released 1 blue marlin and 5 sailfish.
No. Wow.
And they call it the Green Wing Angler on the Sunday Fun Day. James Williams had 1,250 points, releasing 2 blue marlins and 3 sailfish.
My gracious. Had some good fishing out there.
They did. They really did. I wish we could have got up there a few days earlier, but it was a good day for them. And you can go to ncdubillfish.com. You can see all the leaderboard. I have up the top 34, and then they have the different days and what they did. Those things. You can go on there and follow some of those boats if you want to. Trying to look and see how close was some of the second place in the anglers. For the lady anglers, Rachel Kittrell had 950 points, so she was 200 points behind. And then Aaron Flowers on the Sensation only had 400, 1 blue marlin released.
Okay. Wow. Yep. It was fun. It was a good tournament.
Good day. So hopefully we can get back up there again next year. And of course, next year we're going to try to go to all of them. We're going to try to get all of them on to the podcast to get some publicity for them. And hopefully we can get some more footage and all next year as we try to get all these tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
Just south of them, well, not just south, a long way south, Edisto had the Invitational Billfish
Tournament. That's a long way southwest.
Long way down. They had 47 boats in their tournament this past weekend, 168 catches. And I'm not sure how many of those were released. Probably most of them again were released points. Overall outstanding boat was Rascal with 2,200 points, Mr. Pete with 2,000 points, and Sporting Life with 2,000 points. Well, their top ones. Let's look at all the leaderboards and see what happens. So, most Billfish release points was the Rascal. Blue Marlin release points was Sporting Life. The heaviest dolphin was down there was 64.4 pounds.
Oh my gracious!
Bad Becky brought it to the dock. They had a tuna come in. I didn't see any tunas at the Bluefish at the Billfish.
I didn't see any up there. No.
So Sea Tiger brought in a 25.10 tuna. Heaviest wahoo down there was 46.8 for the hay fever. top lady angler was Kelly Kirkpatrick at 1,200 points.
Mhm.
And then the top junior angler was Isla Wyatt, 1,000 points on the Sola Fida, and Kelly was on the Showtime.
Very nice.
So hopefully we'll be able to make that one next year also.
Yeah.
And the
You
last
tried.
on the, yeah, I tried. I just
You tried.
we won't go into all that. That day was Friday was not the day I want to think about anymore.
Yeah.
It just worked against me, but maybe next year.
Yep.
And then finally, July 16th released the results of the Triple Crown from the Big Rock. Now this is the boat that's entered into the Triple Crown, and I think they had about 64 boats competing this year.
Okay.
Level 2 Calcutta entry fee was $5,000 to get into across the board. And these boats fish the Kelly Wagner tournament, the ladies tournament right before the Big Rock itself, and then also the Big Rock Kids.
Okay.
And the winner was Stream Weaver, finished with 2,850 points across all three,
Wow.
netting a winning total of $40,375.
Way to go.
But it came down in the reporting. It came down to just points because Marlin Fever, who actually bought in that 919-pound one to rock, finished only 5.1 points behind the Stream Weaver.
Oh,
so
wow.
literally only 5.1 points. But they still walked away. Let's see what the total was. 24th. $24,225 was their payout.
Yeah.
But it also brings up that they brought in a world record payday at the Big Rock at $6.5 million. So,
Yes.
and rounding up the top three was Marsh Madness with 2,725 points for a total of $16,150.
Very nice.
But this is the other thing they win though. Let me share this with you right quick so you can see this. Is rings.
Oh, wow.
The Big Rock Triple Crown rings.
Wow, that's cool.
I actually have a Bertram Hatter shootout. I have to show it to you sometime. A friend of mine who kind of bought old boats and kind of parted them out. He bought it to give it to me when he knew I was a Bertram guy. So he bought me this ring up for the Bertram Hatter shootout. They don't do it anymore, but it used to be a big tournament down in the Caribbean where Bertram and Hatteras boats would compete against each other.
Oh my
for the top
gracious, that
prize.
sounds fun.
So I have to dig that ring up and show it to you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They don't, like I said, I don't do it anymore, but it was funny. I went back and watched some videos once I got the ring. I learned about the actual contest. It was so funny watching Hatteras and Bertram would do ads for the tournament against each other, making fun of each other. So it was pretty cool.
Maybe we need to have a Jarrett Bay and Viking tournament or something.
There you go. One of the things we are thinking about in the future as we continue down this road is actually sponsoring a tournament. We've talked to a few people about maybe getting another sailfish tournament going somewhere on the Carolina coast. So if you got anybody out there listening,
there's really nothing out. I guess Georgetown has one that's in the Governor's Cup, right?
Well, I mean, that's still a marlin tournament. I'm talking about just a strictly sailfish mahi tournament.
Oh, okay. But specifically between Wilmington and Georgetown, there's no billfish tournament at all.
It's not a great place to go out for billfish.
Well, but they're still out there. I mean,
which brings us to our last segment, which we're going to look a little bit more at the Gulf Stream we started last week talking about. And maybe, I'm not sure if I have the map where I can share it today yet, but it's amazing to me how many they caught out of Edisto because it's so far out. But it is late in the season, so the stream is farther in, is my understanding, and you get some more fish migrating inward. But as we talked about before, back in the 50s, 60s, I think in the 70s, they catch sailfish off some piers up and down the coast, different places.
Yeah. Well, those might be fishtails, Wes. We don't know.
No, actually, Johnny Mercer Pier in Rice Beach, I don't know if they still have it hanging up, but back in the 90s, they still had one hanging up that was caught off their pier.
Really?
So, not an old folks' tale, but definitely don't do it anymore. You don't see any sailfish in that close.
Now I see a bunch of sharks now.
Yeah,
People.
exactly. Which is really big around our area in Little River. I mean, a lot of people come strictly down to the Little River Inlet to do shark fishing.
Yeah. Oh, and we saw the boat from Jaws, Wes, this
Oh
weekend.
yeah, cricket too. It is. If you didn't know, if you listen to this, didn't know, one of the boats used in the Jaws production is actually a charter boat on the
Yeah.
Moorhead waterfront, right there where the Olympic scuba diving shop is.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So,
I want to go out on it.
I don't remember which tournament it was. I'm not gonna call the tournament even if I remember which one it was. Again, another windy day, and somebody was trying to back into the big rock and actually clipped it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
was not good. Was
Oh,
not good.
no.
I actually don't think it hurt the cricket, but it did some damage to the other boat.
Oh,
So,
ouch.
ouch. All right, well, let's take a break here and we'll come back with our last segment.
Sounds good.
All right, well, now it's officially time to introduce my book, Econ Sense, Economics for Everyday Living. You can actually find it by going to my website, econsense.us. If you go there, you'll see there are links to Amazon where you can pick it up, just a paperback, or if you'd rather have the ebook, you can go to Innovative Ink Publishing in care of Kendall Hunt Publishing Company, where you can get the print or ebook. And while you're on that website, you can also check out my other podcast, Econ Sense. I have several different series that go by. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Email me at west.the.economist@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from you.
You are listening to the Hooked Up Podcast, tight lines off the Carolina coast. Reach out to us at hookeduppodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
All right, welcome back into the Hooked Up Podcast for our last segment. We started talking about the Gulf Stream last time, and there's so much interesting stuff about it. I thought I'd hit a few more key points. And we talked about last time about how Benjamin Franklin was one of the first ones to actually chart it. And it's kind of amazing. We mentioned this last time too, that that basically the sailors and the whalers and all could read the stream better than the British could, and so ended up giving them a tactical advantage.
Yeah.
But I was able to dig up some of these. Let's see if I can get it up here so we can see it. Some of these photos. Can you see that? Is that coming across?
Yes.
So you can kind of see
Wow,
off the
look at
coast
that.
here. And this is this is Cape Fear down here. If you can see my mouse moving.
Yep.
This is the actually no, that's actually Moorhead City right here. This is the Outer Banks. Cape Fear is back down here.
Yep.
So we were actually right in here, Moorhead City. Which you can see that. But just the water out there is so different than what you saw in Moorhead City.
Really?
When you get out there, you
Gracious.
can, as we mentioned last time, it's a river in the ocean. And you can tell it as whalers, as old sailors actually started getting out there, they pretty much could tell where it was at just from knowing it. One of the things I brought up said sailors learned to read the stream long before electronics existed. Whalers even used whale behavior as a clue to the current location about where it was at. Water temperature, color changes, those type things. And it's basically called the moving highway for game fish. Warm water's coming up, bringing pelagic life, up the coast. And that's what people are looking at. Blue marlin, white marlin, mahi, wahoo, tuna. All that is out in it.
Yep.
And just on a good day, it's so beautiful out there. It's beautiful out there every day, but a nice calm day is always better. So it looks like not quite look like Cape Lookout. No, it's not Cape Lookout. Not sure where that's at. It looks like somewhere on the Outer Banks. But here's one of the first, one of the maps of the Gulf Stream. If you can see it too well on the screen, but that actual gray area coming up. And you can see it kind of leaves the Florida coast, maybe down near Melbourne or somewhere like that, where, I'm told by my Florida friends all the time, when you talking about going out 50, 60 miles, I just go out 4 or 5 miles and catch a marlin, They don't have to go very far. but you can see it kind of deviates away from the coast.
Yeah.
And until you get back up here to Morehead City, it's pretty,
Yeah.
you can get pretty far out there. The one time I ran to it out from Savannah was about 85 miles to get to the edge of the stream. Took us all night on a, this was back in 89, no, 85, excuse me, 1985. And boats were not as fast as they are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my understanding from the stories I've heard is Morehead City became the fisherman's paradise. You saw the sign as we went in.
I saw
on
the
Saturday.
sign. Yes. Yes.
I don't think the Outer Banks were obviously as developed at that point. So you didn't have Hatteras, you didn't have Oregon Inlet, so many people coming out of it, Pirates Cove coming out. So I think now, and I'm sure as we interview people, they'll tell us that probably the Outer Banks is the best jumping off point to get out there to the best part of the stream this side. But you can see the distance down here is a lot longer than there.
Unfortunately.
And you have a lot of things coming together. You have the Gulf Stream, you have the the shelf water coming up, Hatteras Front, MAB shelf water coming down.
Wow.
And I guess that's the I can't read that one, Shellbreak Jet. But there's off the Gulf Stream. But what you're really looking for right there.
Oh, wow. Oh my gracious.
So, and as we look at those maps, again, we mentioned this, the stream's not always in the same place. It
shifts around.
Yep. That's one reference I pulled up said it meanders. Forms fronts and throws off filaments and eddies off the Carolinas. These movements can shift water masses and influence conditions closer to shore. So definitely making an effect on everything.
Well, I know you said sometimes in Myrtle Beach we can get this bluer water. I wonder if that's
the water that you saw this weekend at Morehead, we do get down at Little River.
Yeah, but not very often.
No, but the last few years it's been out there. In fact, it was there within the last month. I saw some pictures.
Really?
But I don't think.
So do you think that's an offshoot of the Gulf Stream water? Just kind of.
That's a question we need to ask the local captain at a Little River or something. My first guess is yes, that has something to do with what's going on offshore, but I really don't know. We'll have to ask.
Okay.
I also found where it says Cape Hatteras is one of the turning points of the Gulf Stream. It leaves the continental slope and heads into the deep Atlantic. Water flows south from the mid-Atlantic region, converging with the waters moving north. And literally, that collision helps create what they call the graveyard of the Atlantic.
The warm Gulf Stream of the Atlantic?
The graveyard of the Atlantic. The warm Gulf Stream and colder northern waters contribute to notoriously dynamic ocean environment near Diamond Shoals. The area has claimed hundreds and possibly thousands of ships.
Well, that doesn't necessarily make me want to go out there fishing.
Well, see with the Diamond Shoals.
You told me we're going out to the graveyard to go fishing. I'd be like, you know what?
They're talking about that one. They're talking about that one area.
Yeah.
So it is at the Outer Banks. And actually, I'll show you this right quick before we end up this segment. Actually, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
See if I can get back out of here. I hate these things that don't let you get to the X amount.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see a way to get out of that there.
No, I don't either. Go back. Try that again. If I can get it when it first comes up. Actually, I think it. There we go. The different points is Hatteras down here. But I'd have to look up what the actual Diamond Shoals is. Strictly formed by Hatteras Island's proximity to both the Labrador Current and the Gulf Stream, or Florida Current, makes the point at Cape Hatteras. So we're talking about right in here.
Okay. I'll be done.
I have to go look at the resource, but I'm pretty sure that's close for the area. We had they call it the first corporate downsizing. It's where Teachy, Blackbeard, Pirate Blackbeard.
Oh, yeah.
There's a story. I'm not sure I read it at. I have to look it up to be more precise. But he basically had a big ship, had all this loot and all on there. But they went to these shoals somewhere in Outer Banks and transferred the wealth onto a smaller ship. And then he took just a few of the crew on that smaller ship, and they took off and left the big ship there. The big ship tried to follow them and shipwrecked.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, they
but
got
you
some
think
of the
you
they
really?
got some of the stuff from his ship in the museum up there in Beaufort.
Ah, you got it right. Good for you.
You're
Got caught
lucky
up
because I
right.
was talking to our buddy today, and he lives in Beaufort, and so I was like, I got to keep this straight here.
Yep. I know where you're at. Which tournament are we at? Which one are we closer to? You got to make sure you get it right.
Yeah, gracious.
But it's very interesting when you think back. I mean, in the 1600s, 1700s, these pirates and the ships they were sailing in the wind and them navigating all these things that we're talking about. It's pretty
Oh yeah,
amazing.
it is. Yeah. What do you think the draft was on those pirate ships, Wes?
And it had to be, I don't know, got to be 6 to 10 feet, wouldn't you think?
I would think so. They'd have to have a
At
big old
least the
rudder
front,
on them.
yeah.
What they have a giant rudder on them and stuff, right?
Yeah, the
Because they were
rudder would be
basically
out
a
the back.
sailboat,
It was a sailboat,
sort
yeah.
of. Yeah,
No, there was no other
they were a
power. It was all
sailboat, right?
sailboat, yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know what their keels were like. I think they were more of a rounded keel, weren't they? But they'd
Rounded
have to have
keel, and I think it had a
something,
little bit down below the
yeah, to
thing.
stabilize them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's interesting. Because I
Very
was amazed
interesting.
when you told me what the draft was on some of these fishing boats, and I'm like, nah, it can't be that.
Well,
Oh,
displacement of the water, they're not near as deep as they used to be.
yeah, that's
Um,
amazing.
I mean,
That's
my
wild.
little 1966 Bertram, it only has a draft of 2.5 feet.
Oh my gracious.
Now I have outboards on it, and when it had IOs on it, it went down deeper than that.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, and you also be careful when you're reading your depth finder. Is the depth finder been set for the top of the water, or is it showing you the distance between the bottom of your boat and the bottom? Because that could be a couple of
Oh,
feet, so you got to be careful.
oh my gracious. Yeah.
And then take into
Well,
account how the motor's doing.
oh boy. Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's end this one up, and we will see everybody again next week. Don't
All
forget to
right.
write us in, hookeduppodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your stories. Again, we're
Yep.
looking for stories from captains, mates, just anglers, people who live
Tournament
on the
directors,
coast,
anybody.
tournament directors, whatever, anywhere between Hilton Head and the Outer Banks. We'd love to hear from you.
Chase clocks, we chase
See you
the
next time.
tide out past the drop off where the big ones lie. Past the seaboard throttles pushing wide, chasing that Gulf Stream on a nerdy